Well, Detective Connor, this romantic date didn't seem to go too well.
You're right, Detective Carey. I don't think he'll be going on a second date anytime soon.
Oh yeah, he's been long gone, maybe 3-5 hours.
Yeah, we'll have our evidence team come and photograph the evidence, take his temperature. Do you notice the holes in his shirt there?
Light blood spitting nearby? This looks like another one of those IV injection cases. Stabbed through the heart. Now who's to blame?
This is starting to remind me of the Heartbreaker killer. Do you want to check around the scene for evidence like last time?
Yeah. You called it, Detective. Needle in the bouquet. Whoever did this has a flair for the dramatic.
Let's get to the lab. I want to get this evidence checked out right away and get this killer put behind bars where they belong.
Let's go. We've got the results back on the murder weapon, Detective.
Instantaneous results from the lab? That's what I've come to expect. So how did our victim die anyway?
Well, it seems that the murderer used something called pancuronium bromide.
You don't say. Seems like an interesting choice.
You've got that right, Detective Connor. What do you know about it?
Well, a friend of mine, a doctor, they use it all the time. They use it to relax the muscles, happy intubation, for both the patient and the doc. But that's not all it's used for. Executions. It stops the lungs, and then it stops the heart, and it acts quick.
This stuff seems to be about 10 milligrams per milliliter. Now that doesn't seem to be the kind of dose any doc with brains would use.
No, that's 10 times too much. But let's talk about the fluid dynamics of this case. Let's go ahead and assume fully developed flow, non-pulsatile, in a steady state single cavity. And let's go ahead and say it's a single IV bolus injection.
Whoa! This presentation by some seniors at the University of Illinois seems to be just what we're looking for. With a drug dose of 10 milligrams per kilogram, which is 10 times the appropriate value as found in literature, and using the volume of distribution of 23,445 milliliters, which was also found in literature, we calculated the initial concentration. Then, using the half-life, which was found to be 2.08 hours, we were able to calculate the decaying constant and then find an equation for the plasma concentration of a single IV dose of pancuronium bromide over time. We also found that for the average dose of 0.1 milligram per kilogram, it takes about 4 minutes to officially take its effect and stop the breathing. Therefore, we assumed since our dose was 10 times stronger, that this reduced that number by 10 times. Thus, it took 0.4 minutes for Gavin Pupta to stop breathing. Also online, we found that it takes approximately 5 minutes for a human to die without oxygen. Thus, after the injection, Gavin was dead for 5.4 minutes. Then, we wanted to be sure that not all of the drug had been cleared out of Gavin's body before the 5.4 minutes was up. Thus, we calculated the total drug eliminated using the plasma clearance of 1.5 milliliters per minute per kilogram found online and calculated the area under the plasma concentration curve using the equation we just calculated on the last slide. Thus, we found that in the 5.4 minutes, only 2.8 milligrams had been cleared out of the body, meaning the drug was still at a high enough concentration to cease Gavin's breathing. Now, heat exchange. I don't really get this. Tell me more, Detective Connor.
Well, Detective, you used transport phenomena to explain how it happened. Let's use heat exchange to determine when it happened. The cops on the scene found the body with a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius at the time of discovery, and it was about 15 degrees outside. If we assume his body was at a healthy 37 degrees before his death, we can calculate the time he was killed. Using this heat exchange equation, we can make some simplifications because there was no flow and the body was deceased, so it wasn't generating any more heat. As we work through the simplifications, we can determine that the time of death was approximately 5.5 hours before we discovered it.
Now, if I use 5.5 hours, I can calculate the amount of drug that would decay, if that was decaying in Gavin's body as he just lay there dead. Now with the concentration that I get when I add that to the amount that was already lost through just elimination while he was alive, I get the same concentration that was found in the body. This is perfect.
Awesome. Well, we've got the method and the moment. Who could our key witness be?
We need someone reliable, someone the jury can trust. I want to make sure this criminal is put away for good.
Alma, who killed Gavin?
Think we should try good cop, bad cop again?
Let's give it a little bit.
Hey, isn't there a 24-hour webcam on this?
Oh yeah!
Our labs were able to use the low-res image to make a high-quality photo of the killer, and it looks like that our database found an exact match.
Perfect. And since our killer is a second semester senior in bioengineering, there's only one place we need to look.
Brothers! Kate Hurler, the heartbreaker.
What?
You're under arrest for the murder of Gavin Gupta.
You can't prove anything!
Oh yes, we can. With fluid dynamics.